The Enchanting Queen of Egypt, Cleopatra VII. Cleopatra VII, the last ruler of the Ptolemaic dynasty in Egypt, was a captivating historical figure who has captured the imagination of many. Renowned for her striking beauty and sharp intelligence, she ruled Egypt during a turbulent period in history. Before Cleopatra ascended to the Egyptian throne, the Ptolemaic dynasty was on the verge of collapse. However, she inadvertently hastened the Roman conquest of Egypt, not solely through military force, but by igniting the hearts and minds of its leaders, compelling them to invade and incorporate it into the Roman Empire. Following the death of her father, Ptolemy XII Auletes, the throne passed to her and her younger brother. Both siblings harbored ambitions to rule independently, leading to a fierce power struggle. Cleopatra discovered that she was not only battling her brother, but also the palace courtiers. Consequently, she decided to flee until an opportune moment arose for her return. While Cleopatra was plotting her return to power, Rome was embroiled in a struggle for control between Julius Caesar and his friend and ally Pompey. The conflict concluded with Pompey's defeat and his escape to Egypt, seeking refuge with the sons of Ptolemy XII Auletes, as Pompey had previously aided Ptolemy in regaining the Egyptian throne, as documented in the book Queens of Ancient Egypt by Egyptologist Dr. Hussein Abdul Basir. Pompey arrived in Egypt but was assassinated. Julius Caesar subsequently arrived in Alexandria and, upon learning of Pompey's murder, was deeply saddened by the loss of his friend and honored his remains. After recovering from the shock of his friend's death, Caesar began to roam the city as if he were the ruler of the land, provoking great resentment among the patriotic Alexandrians. Julius Caesar's enchantment with Cleopatra's beauty. Julius Caesar was informed of the conflict between the siblings and summoned them. Cleopatra entered the palace concealed within a rolled-up carpet, carried by a servant, emerging like Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, rising from the sea foam. Caesar was immediately captivated by her beauty. After defeating her brother, Caesar declared Cleopatra the seventh queen of Egypt. She had to pay a price for Caesar's assistance, which involved a 3-month Nile cruise. Cleopatra returned from the journey pregnant with his child. Caesar returned to Rome after declaring Cleopatra Queen of Egypt and arranging her marriage to her brother Ptolemy XIV. Soon after, Cleopatra gave birth to a son by Julius Caesar, whom she named Caesar, and the Egyptians mockingly called Caesarion. During Cleopatra's reign, Egypt experienced a significant economic and political renaissance. Cleopatra visited Rome and met with Caesar, feeling as if she had become the Queen of Rome. She remained there for 2 years until Julius Caesar was assassinated in the Senate. The unexpected end of Caesar's life was a severe shock to Cleopatra. She gathered her strength, returned to Egypt, and declared her son Caesar, or Caesarion, her co-ruler after assassinating her brother Ptolemy XIV. In Rome, a fierce struggle erupted between Julius Caesar's supporters and opponents. Mark Antony and Octavian led Caesar's supporters, and the conflict ended with the defeat of Caesar's enemies. The Roman Empire was divided among Caesar's supporters, with Mark Antony receiving the eastern part. This old lover sent a message to Cleopatra, requesting a meeting. Cleopatra did not exert much effort, as Mark Antony was eager to fall into her trap. They had 3 children together, and Mark Antony declared his marriage to her in violation of Roman law, which prohibited marriage to foreigners. He also declared all the eastern provinces to be Cleopatra's and Alexandria to be the capital of the eastern part of the Roman Empire. Octavian declared war on his former friend and ally, who had now become his enemy. He began to defame both Cleopatra and Mark Antony and succeeded in obtaining the Senate's approval to wage